As time marches on and we continue our life's journey, there's often a feeling that the world around us is transforming so rapidly that it's hard to keep up. And you are certainly not alone in this feeling. Many people at a certain age face similar challenges, pondering how fulfilling and controlled a life lived independently can remain. But what if preventing a number of common mistakes could make this stage of life not only more enjoyable, but truly inspiring? The following narrative will explore key aspects to avoid in order to create a life that doesn't just exist, but thrives in the golden years. Stay with us to learn how to protect yourself from loneliness, maintain your health, create a safe and caring environment, and keep your finances in order. If you're ready to embrace this period of life and enjoy well-deserved independence, these tips will prove invaluable. Let's dive into the topic with optimism to make these golden years some of the best in life. First and foremost, it's worth noting the danger that lurks for many: complete isolation. As the years pass and life changes, people often distance themselves from the outside world, sometimes without even realizing it. Days turn into weeks, then months, and suddenly a person finds themselves in a silence that once seemed peaceful, but now feels like a crushing emptiness. The author has encountered numerous stories of elderly people who, despite their best intentions, gradually lost contact with friends, family, and even the activities that once brought them joy. Immersing oneself in isolation can happen imperceptibly, but it steadily erodes the sense of purpose and deprives one of happiness. That's why it's crucial to be active in maintaining social connections. This doesn't mean you need to attend large and exhausting events. Small steps often have the greatest impact. You might consider joining a social group, even in a virtual space, or visiting local clubs of interest. Imagine a weekly phone call with a loved one where laughter fills the space between words, or a simple visit to a neighbor's party where familiar faces greet you with warmth and cordiality. There's a story about one woman whose journey began with something small: weekly volunteering at a shelter. Initially hesitant, she soon discovered that this day became a bright spot in her life, enriching her with new acquaintances and a sense of community that she didn't expect at all. Even small efforts aimed at maintaining social connections serve as a reliable defense against loneliness, opening doors to a world of shared experiences and joys. These moments, even fleeting ones, can spark joy and remind us that life becomes fulfilling only in close interaction with others. Maintaining connections is not just about having other people around, it's about actively participating in life, appreciating all the richness of the experience we share. It may take some effort at first, but the warmth, love, and moments of shared laughter are certainly worth it. An equally important aspect is taking care of your health. Loneliness often creates an illusion of security, and without the support of a loved one who could remind you to follow a routine or visit a doctor, it's easy to miss important moments. As you get older, health risks increase, and the absence of someone nearby to monitor medication or adherence to medical recommendations makes maintaining health a task that requires special self-discipline and a conscious approach. There's a story about one person who constantly postponed visiting medical specialists, naively believing that, "I'll definitely go next week." However, weeks flew by, and minor ailments gradually transformed into serious health problems. His life was later overshadowed by regrets. He sincerely wished he had paid more attention to his health in time, while there was still an opportunity to change something. This instructive story should serve as a constant reminder: don't put off taking care of your health for later. To avoid forgetting, you can enter reminders in your calendar or set them on your phone. Small actions such as daily walks or light stretching can work wonders over time. Imagine a leisurely walk down the street, feeling the gentle warmth of the sun's rays on your skin, taking a deep breath of fresh air, and being able to give yourself a few minutes of silence and peace. Such simple actions may seem insignificant, but over time they have an incredibly powerful effect on the body. It's important to remember that mental health is just as vital as physical health. Periods of solitude can sometimes trigger feelings of sadness or anxiety, and suppressing these emotions can lead to undesirable consequences. An open conversation with a close friend, family member, or qualified professional can be therapeutic, and there's no shame in seeking help. Emotional well-being deserves as much attention as physical health. Making time for yourself isn't just a formality, it's an act of kindness, an investment in your happiness and future well-being. Ultimately, when you feel good, new horizons open up, and you can enjoy life to the fullest. Let's turn our attention to safety issues, which become increasingly important as we age. It's natural to feel confident doing familiar tasks independently, especially with years of experience. However, as we get older, personal safety takes precedence, requiring increased vigilance. We sometimes neglect precautions, reassuring ourselves that everything has always been fine. But it only takes one unexpected incident to change everything. Taking preventive measures is one of the simplest and most effective ways to ensure personal safety. I recall a story of a woman who slipped in her kitchen and found herself helpless. Fortunately, the fall wasn't life-threatening, but she couldn't reach her phone and spent several agonizing hours alone. This incident was a real wake-up call for her, prompting her to invest in a personal emergency response system, a device that allows her to call for help with the push of a button. This small investment gave her invaluable peace of mind, knowing that she wouldn't be alone in an emergency. Making minor changes to your home can significantly improve safety. Good lighting, especially on stairs, in hallways, and in bathrooms, is crucial. One awkward movement in dim light can lead to a serious injury that is easily preventable. Ensure adequate lighting in your home, not only for comfort, but also as an important safety measure. Home security is an aspect that deserves close attention. Installing security cameras or arranging regular check-ins with neighbors isn't being overly cautious. It's a sensible step to provide an extra layer of protection. It's not about instilling fear, but about preserving the independence that is so cherished. Feeling safe in your own home provides comfort that significantly enhances your quality of life. These precautions are an act of self-care, demonstrating the value of your well-being and the desire to continue enjoying life in comfort and safety. Forming healthy habits is also crucial. Living alone offers unparalleled freedom, but also removes the responsibility that comes with living with others. This independence can backfire, paving the way for less than ideal habits. It starts small, skipping a meal, spending too much time on the couch. Gradually, these minor deviations can turn into entrenched patterns of behavior that negatively affect health and well-being. I remember a woman who, after her husband's death, began overindulging in comfort food and television, trying to fill the void in her life. Over time, these habits took a toll on her physical and mental health. Only after realizing the extent of the problem did she decide to make changes. She started by preparing simple, nutritious meals and setting small goals, such as daily short walks. She didn't try to change everything at once, but focused on small, realistic adjustments that gradually helped her feel more energetic and return to a fulfilling life. It wasn't about achieving perfection, but about continuous self-improvement, about small but consistent steps toward well-being. Consider setting small, achievable goals that can significantly impact your overall well-being. This could involve incorporating a few healthy meals into your weekly diet, taking daily walks in the fresh air, or even dedicating yourself to a hobby that encourages physical activity. Remember, the goal isn't to achieve an unattainable ideal, but to value your health and create a lifestyle that helps maintain your vitality. Then there's the matter of one's home, which has been the center of countless memories for years. The walls hold echoes of laughter and love, and it's only natural to feel a deep attachment to such a place. However, as life moves forward, maintaining a large home can become a burden, both physically and emotionally. Many people hold on to their homes out of a sense of duty or nostalgia, but sometimes this choice costs more than it seems at first glance. An example is the story of a woman who raised her family in a large and beautiful house after her children. Left home, she spent years trying to cope with endless cleaning, yard work, and repairs. She felt guilty even thinking about moving to a smaller home, as if that step would mean giving up all those years filled with memories. Over time, she found that maintaining the house was slowly draining her energy and spirit. Eventually, she realized that by clinging to a space that no longer met her needs, she was depriving herself of the opportunity to live a comfortable and peaceful life. After much reflection and introspection, she made the difficult decision to relocate, choosing a more modest and economical dwelling. After moving to a compact, easy-to-maintain home, she almost instantly felt a heavy burden of worries and responsibilities lift from her shoulders. For the first time in years, she was able to relax without feeling constant pressure from household chores and the need to maintain order. This transition was certainly not easy, but it gave her a long-awaited sense of freedom. The opportunity to enjoy each day without being chained to endless household chores and worries about maintaining the house. Moving to a smaller home is certainly not a one-size-fits-all solution, but it's worth considering how much space and responsibility is really needed at this stage of life. If keeping your current place of residence seems like the most preferred option, that's perfectly normal and deserves respect. It's important to remember that there's nothing wrong with seeking help with household issues. This could be hiring a specialist to take care of the lawn, or professional house cleaning, or even asking family members to help with repairs. A home should be an oasis of peace and comfort, a place to restore strength and energy, not a burden that drains and exhausts. Whether it's moving to a more compact home or getting extra help, you need to make choices that allow you to live in comfort and focus on the really important things that bring joy and satisfaction. In the ahs context of easing the path of life, one cannot ignore the issue of finding a purpose, because loneliness, especially in the period after retirement or the loss of a loved one, often creates a sense of meaninglessness. The lack of a work schedule and caring for someone can create the impression of a purposeless passage of time. Many older people admit that they are simply living out their days, longing for an incentive to wake up. However, the truth is that life retains its value regardless of age and circumstances. There are always opportunities to gain new knowledge, develop hobbies, and contribute to the world. This period of life is ideal for returning to hobbies and interests that were put aside in the years devoted to work and family. Perhaps you've always wanted to paint, learn to play a musical instrument, or find peace in gardening. It's important to understand that these are not just hobbies, but ways to keep your brain active, fill your heart with joy, and give meaning to each day. One heartfelt story comes to mind about a person who chose the path of voluntary mentoring for young residents of his area. At first, he was tormented by doubts about his ability to bring about real change, but over time he realized that guiding and supporting other people filled his existence with new meaning. It was not only about transferring knowledge and skills, but also about exchanging life experiences, accumulated wisdom, and feeling useful to society. These emerging connections became an inexhaustible source of satisfaction and a sense of belonging for him. Therefore, if you are looking for a purpose, you should start small. This could be learning a new skill, participating in a volunteer movement, or returning to a forgotten hobby. Don't stop searching, even taking small steps. Loneliness does not mean a lack of purpose in life. On the contrary, it gives you the freedom to plan your days so that they bring joy and satisfaction. Life is still full of opportunities, and every new day is a chance to rediscover what fills you with energy and a thirst for life. In the context of discussing independence, it's important to emphasize that self-reliance doesn't mean doing everything alone. One of the most common, yet rarely discussed challenges faced by older adults living alone is the feeling of needing to cope with all difficulties independently. Often, there's a sense of pride in maintaining independence, an internal drive to demonstrate competence and self-sufficiency. However, it should be noted that seeking help not only doesn't diminish independence, but strengthens it. Knowing when to turn to others can be one of the wisest decisions. I recall the story of a woman who hesitated for a long time to ask her adult children for help. She feared that such a request might be perceived as a sign of lost independence or evidence of her inability to cope with life's challenges. But over time, she realized that asking for help didn't diminish her dignity, but rather demonstrated the presence of a supportive network of loved ones. Her children gladly responded to her request, and the support they provided greatly eased her life. Thanks to this assistance, she was able to focus on activities that brought her pleasure, without feeling overwhelmed by the daily concerns associated with living alone. Don't shoulder all the burdens of life alone. Asking a neighbor for help with groceries or hiring a professional to handle household issues isn't a sign of weakness, but a wise decision that allows you to enjoy life without undue stress and exhaustion. Knowing when to ask for support is a valuable gift that everyone deserves. Society and loved ones are always ready to help, and there's no need to cope with everything alone. Special attention should be paid to the home environment, which significantly impacts overall well-being. Living alone provides a unique opportunity to decorate the space to your liking, but there's an increased risk of overlooking important details. Without outside help, it's easy to succumb to the temptation to postpone minor tasks or allow clutter to accumulate. Over time, the chaos in the house can begin to depress you, not only physically, but also emotionally. I remember the story of a woman who, after the death of her husband, gradually lost interest in maintaining order in the house. Unfinished tasks, stacks of papers, and cluttered corners became commonplace. The house, which had once been a cozy refuge, turned into a source of stress. Only with the help of a close friend who helped her tidy up did she realize how much the surrounding environment affects her mood and mental balance. The house became a reflection of inner chaos, and by tidying up, the woman felt a surge of energy and mental clarity. The home is where a person spends most of their time, and it should be a source of comfort, not stress. You don't have to start with large-scale renovations right away. Start small, tidy up the hallway, clear surfaces, or create a convenient storage system for essential items. These small efforts will help create a space that promotes peace of mind and a sense of control over the environment. A neat and organized home provides a sense of peace and mental clarity. Your home should be a haven, reflecting the peace and harmony you deserve. Often, another important aspect of living alone remains in the shadows: time. When there's no clear work schedule or family obligations, days can blend into a colorless mass, creating a feeling of being lost and unsure of the current date. This blurring of structure can cause a sense of disorientation and even loneliness, creating the illusion of time slipping through your fingers, devoid of meaning. However, according to experts, regaining control of time and filling each day with more content is quite possible, simply by creating a simple system. As an example, consider the story of a man who, upon retiring, found himself sinking into a routine of inactivity, not knowing what to do with his days. Making a conscious decision to change the situation, he developed a simple weekly schedule: grocery shopping on a specific day of the week, daily morning walks, and several hours devoted to his favorite hobby. These small but regular activities brought the necessary structure to his life, restored his sense of grounding, and strengthened his connection with the world around him. Including even minor rituals in everyday life can bring a sense of rhythm and purpose. Perhaps it's worth setting aside time each morning to enjoy a cup of aromatic coffee on the veranda, or planning a weekly walk, even if it's just a visit to a nearby park. These modest rituals form a kind of framework that serves as a reliable anchor, making each new day something to look forward to. Time management isn't about rigidly planning every minute, but rather about creating flexible guidelines that fill each day with meaning. Following this comes the question of things that hold special value to the heart. Over the years, we accumulate a vast number of memorable trinkets and items that resurrect cherished moments, loved ones, and the very history of our lives. These objects can provide a sense of comfort and warmth, but their excessive accumulation can turn a home into a space that feels heavy and cluttered. There's a fine line between carefully preserving memories and allowing things to oppress our mental state. The story of a woman facing the difficult task of parting with her deceased husband's belongings is particularly poignant. She carefully kept absolutely everything, from clothing to documents, believing that giving them up would be tantamount to losing her loved one again. However, over time, she realized that such a quantity of things was hindering her progress forward. With the support of her children, she sorted through her husband's belongings, keeping only those items that truly held deep significance. This process was full of emotion, but by freeing herself from the unnecessary, she felt her home fill with light and ease, and her soul became ready for new memories and life experiences. In the process of getting rid of sentimental clutter, it's important to find a happy medium. Keep only the things that are dearest to your heart, and say goodbye to the rest. As an alternative, you can capture memorable moments by taking photographs, which will allow you to preserve memories without cluttering your space with physical objects. Letting go of the excess isn't about forgetting the past, but rather about opening doors to the future. By reducing the physical burden, a person also frees themselves from emotional baggage, gaining the opportunity to fully enjoy the present while cherishing the most valuable memories in their heart. Another cornerstone of a carefree life is preparedness for unforeseen circumstances. For those who live alone, preparing for the unexpected can be the deciding factor between maintaining composure and being overcome by panic. A sudden power outage, a decline in health, or a natural disaster can cause a deep sense of isolation when there's no one nearby to provide support. Preparing in advance gives you a sense of control over the situation, instilling confidence in your own safety, no matter what happens. There's a story about a person who was once caught off guard by a fierce winter storm that left an entire city without electricity. He didn't usually bother preparing for such cataclysms, naively believing that he could always manage to get by as he had before. However, this time, when the electricity went out, he found himself completely isolated, unable to charge his phone, and without a single source of backup lighting. For several long days, he sat in complete darkness, feeling defenseless and completely unprepared for such a turn of events. This incident was a real revelation for him, forcing him to reconsider his attitude toward safety. Subsequently, he took concrete steps to ensure that he would never experience such a feeling of helplessness again. He purchased a portable phone charger, made sure to create a supply of essential items, and acquired battery-powered flashlights. These simple measures allowed him to regain peace of mind, knowing that he was ready for any eventuality. Preparing for emergencies is an important act of self-care, especially if you live alone. Take the time to compile a list of emergency contacts and keep it in an easily accessible place. Assemble a small emergency kit that includes non-perishable food, a supply of drinking water, necessary medications, a flashlight, and a first aid kit. It's also a wise decision to always keep your phone charged and have a portable charger so that no circumstances catch you off guard. If you live in a region prone to extreme weather events, be sure to make the necessary preparations and know in advance where to take shelter in case of danger. If you need to seek refuge, take certain steps. This isn't a call to live in constant fear, but rather a sensible approach to providing yourself with the necessary resources to calmly and confidently meet any of life's challenges. Preparing for possible difficulties is a sign of respect for your own independence and a desire to control your safety. Such precautions are a small investment that can play a decisive role at the most critical moment. Now, let's focus on another aspect that often goes unnoticed: financial organization. Managing personal finances may seem like a tedious task, especially when living alone, but as one gets older, maintaining order in this area becomes critical. A careless attitude towards documents, late bill payments, or the loss of important papers can lead to serious problems if there is no one to take responsibility for control. Financial chaos can creep in unnoticed and become a source of unnecessary stress. I recall a case of a woman who long did not realize how confused her financial affairs had become. Only after several months, when she finally checked her bank statements, did a sad picture emerge. It turned out that she was still paying for services she had long ceased to use, and had also missed payment deadlines on bills she thought she had paid. This unpleasant experience plunged her into a state of depression and uncertainty about how to regain control of the situation. However, thanks to the help of a trusted family member, she was able to sort out the financial mess, set up an accounting system, and regain her peace of mind. Organizing a personal financial system shouldn't be difficult. Implementing automatic payments for regular bills, such as utilities, rent, or mortgage payments, will eliminate the monthly headache associated with tracking deadlines. It is recommended to review bank statements periodically, preferably monthly, to promptly identify any unplanned expenses. Gather important documents such as bank statements, wills, and insurance policies, ensuring they are systematically stored in an easily accessible place. If managing finances independently seems challenging, don't hesitate to seek support from a trusted friend, family member, or professional financial advisor. Seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but a sensible approach to ensuring financial stability and finding peace of mind. By taking control of your finances, you're not only managing money, but also creating a foundation for a free and carefree life, eliminating the worries associated with overdue or lost bills. Thanks to organization, you can focus on those aspects of life that bring satisfaction, knowing that practical matters are under control. Shifting to the issue of home safety, especially relevant for those planning to live independently in their mature years, it should be emphasized that creating a safe home environment is a priority. The first step in this direction is a thorough assessment of potential risks in each room. It's about creating a space adapted to future needs, where comfort and convenience are combined with safety. It is recommended to carefully inspect all rooms, paying particular attention to high-traffic areas such as corridors, stairs, and kitchens to identify potential sources of danger. At first glance, such minor details as unsecured rugs, clutter, or inadequate lighting may seem harmless, but they can cause accidents. Special attention should be paid to lighting, especially on stairs and in bathrooms. This aspect is often overlooked, although it plays an important role in ensuring safety. Insufficient lighting can pose a serious threat, especially at night. Consider installing night lights in hallways and using brighter bulbs on stairs and in hallways to make it easier to navigate at any time of day. It is important to remember that a person's needs may change over time, so regularly reassessing home safety will help identify and eliminate new risks in a timely manner. By maintaining a safe and well-lit living environment, you ensure your comfort and well-being, creating a sense of security and confidence in your home. Don't forget about seemingly insignificant, but in reality extremely important, details such as the installation of handrails and railings in strategically important places in your home. Over time, as age makes adjustments to our sense of balance and overall mobility, these support elements become truly indispensable aids. The bathroom, unfortunately, is a high-risk area where unfortunate accidents often occur. Therefore, it is strongly recommended to install handrails in close proximity to the toilet as well as inside the shower or bath. These simple devices will provide you with the necessary stability on slippery surfaces, instilling confidence in your every move. Similarly, installing handrails on both sides of the staircase is a simple yet effective way to provide additional support in case of a sudden loss of balance. It's about creating the safest possible space, allowing you to move freely around your home, knowing that all necessary precautions have been taken to protect you. These changes aren't just safety features, they're smart investments in your independence and the ability to keep your home comfortable and accessible for years to come. The bathroom is another area where a few thoughtful changes can significantly improve safety and comfort. Slippery surfaces and limited space make it a high-risk area, but with a few simple additions, you can transform it into a safer, more convenient space. Start by adding non-slip mats inside the shower and on the bathroom floor. These mats provide extra grip, significantly reducing the risk of falls. A shower seat is another great addition. It allows you to sit comfortably while washing, eliminating the need to stand on a slippery surface. Another simple yet effective solution that can transform the bathroom is the installation of a raised toilet seat. This device greatly facilitates the process of sitting down and standing up, minimizing stress on the knee joints and lower back. As an additional measure to increase comfort and safety, consider a handheld shower head. This tool gives the user complete control over the water flow and direction, making the bathing process more convenient and safer. These types of changes in the bathroom aren't just precautions to prevent accidents. They're an investment in creating a space that supports independence and allows you to move through the day with confidence and ease. The kitchen, like the bathroom, can be a source of hidden dangers, but with a few targeted changes, it can be transformed into a safer and more functional space. The first step towards creating a safe kitchen is to organize it so that frequently used items are within easy reach. Instead of storing essentials on the upper shelves of cabinets, which requires excessive stretching and lifting, it's recommended to place them on lower shelves or in drawers. This arrangement not only reduces strain on the body, but also minimizes the risk of falls or overexertion, making the kitchen space more convenient and safer for all users. To prevent burns in the kitchen, it's recommended to use cookware with L-shaped handles and special oven mitts that provide additional distance between hands and heated surfaces. If possible, prefer a microwave oven over a stove, as it reduces the risk of dangerous situations. A crucial aspect of safety is having an easily accessible fire extinguisher in the kitchen and knowing how to use it. Kitchen fires can occur suddenly, and having a fire extinguisher provides an extra guarantee of protection. Organizing the kitchen space with safety in mind not only prevents accidents, but also creates a comfortable environment for confident and enjoyable cooking. In addition to physical safety, technology is playing an increasingly important role in supporting independent living for seniors. Modern technological solutions greatly simplify maintaining independence while providing timely assistance when needed. Personal Emergency Response Systems, PRRs, which can be worn as bracelets or pendants, allow you to call for help with the touch of a button. In the event of a fall or medical emergency, help will arrive promptly, giving confidence that the person won't be left alone in a difficult situation. Among other things, other smart home technology solutions are perfect for ensuring home security. In particular, motion sensors are a very practical addition, automatically illuminating unlit areas, such as hallways or bathrooms, as soon as a person enters them. Such lighting devices not only help avoid accidental falls and stumbles, but also create an additional sense of security, especially at night. For people who take several medications at the same time, special medication tracking apps can be a real lifesaver. They send timely notifications and help track the dosage schedule, ensuring that no dose is missed. Using technology in this way doesn't mean giving up independence. On the contrary, it strengthens it by making life safer and daily tasks more predictable. Maintaining close ties with family and friends is also an important aspect of independent living. Regular communication with loved ones isn't just a source of comfort, but also a kind of safety net. Establishing a clear schedule for regular check-ins, whether through daily or weekly phone calls or video conferences, helps ensure that everything is okay at home. Moreover, these contacts allow you to share joys and sorrows, supporting emotional well-being and ensuring that someone is always there to provide the necessary assistance if needed. In today's world, where distances are no longer a barrier, technology comes to the rescue, blurring the boundaries between people. Video calls offer the opportunity to see the faces of relatives and loved ones, to hear their voices, even if there are thousands of miles between you. This helps maintain a sense of closeness and unity, despite physical distance. In addition, loved ones can provide invaluable support by remotely reminding you of important things: doctor's appointments, the need to replenish medication supplies. This creates an extra level of care and attention that is so necessary in everyday life. Maintaining connections with the outside world and participating in the life of the local community is another important aspect of well-being. Whether it's a club for hobbies, a literary circle, or a volunteer organization, an active social life helps you stay involved and feel the support and care of those around you. Don't forget about preparing for possible emergencies. Unforeseen circumstances can arise suddenly, and a clear plan of action can play a crucial role. Developing a detailed plan that includes contact information for loved ones, neighbors, and emergency services is an important step toward ensuring safety. It is recommended to keep this information in an easily accessible place so that you or someone else can quickly find it if needed. You should also gather important documents, such as your medical record and a list of medications you are taking, and store them together with essential supplies: a flashlight, a supply of water, and a small amount of food. Preparing for unforeseen situations in advance is the key to peace of mind and confidence in the future. It is necessary to carefully consider a plan of action in emergency situations and bring it to the attention of all family members or caregivers. Such foresight will allow you to gain confidence in your readiness for any life challenges and meet them with imperturbable calm. Many aspects have already been considered, and it is hoped that the reader feels empowered to implement these changes, which can bring more convenience and safety to life. In conclusion, I would like to emphasize the importance of reflecting on what gives life fullness. Living alone opens up a unique opportunity to structure your day according to your personal aspirations, values, and needs, without feeling constrained by a schedule set by others. This period of life represents a chance to reconnect with what brings sincere joy and peace. So, let's discuss a few simple ways to enrich the experience of living alone. First of all, it is recommended to include small rituals in your daily routine that bring pleasure. It could be something simple, such as brewing a cup of tea every morning and enjoying it by the window, flooded with sunlight. Or perhaps taking a few minutes to stretch and breathe deeply, starting the day with a sense of calm. Or maybe writing down a few things to be grateful for every evening, ending the day with a feeling of satisfaction. A poignant story comes to mind about a man who decided to dedicate just 1 hour of his evening to his favorite pastime, wood carving. For many years he had sacrificed his hobbies for the sake of his family and career, but now, having gained some free time, he rediscovered inspiration and delight in creation. This hour dedicated to creativity gave him peace, a sense of completion, and a new understanding of the meaning of life. Such moments, given to activities that bring true joy, are able to fill each day with quiet but palpable satisfaction, like a life-giving nectar for the soul. In conclusion of these reflections, it is worth pausing for a moment and appreciating the journey traveled and the successes achieved. Independent living is a matter of well-deserved pride, and the accumulated life experience is a priceless treasure. This period of life is not a time for fading away, but an opportunity to celebrate all the acquired knowledge, Share your experience and embrace the freedom that mature years bring. People are becoming wiser, stronger, and more resilient than ever before, and now is the perfect time to channel that wisdom into creating a life filled with harmony, joy, and connection with loved ones. Each of these steps, whether it's strengthening social bonds, ensuring a safe environment, or cultivating small daily joys, is aimed at building a life that serves as a foundation and support. Life may look different now, but its significance is in no way diminished. The decisions you make today have the power to fundamentally change how you feel in the future. And if you're still here, having watched until the end, I want to express my gratitude. Your attention and participation are of immense value. By taking these lessons to heart, you are giving yourself a priceless gift in the form of a safer, more joyful, and fulfilling life. Living alone does not mean living in isolation. Your life is woven from relationships, memories, and stories that continue to give it depth and richness. Embrace your independence with confidence and the awareness that you have the power to shape this stage of life so that it brings happiness and satisfaction. Remember that each new day is a chance to live meaningfully, enjoy every moment, and find joy in your well-deserved freedom. Thank you for being here and sharing this time with me. May your days be filled with laughter, good health, and the quiet satisfaction of a life well lived.